Ah, good morning, people. Did you see my birthday mug of COVFEFE sent to us by our good friend Marcy? It's not my birthday yet, but I feel like it's my birthday every day. I have a very lucky life. I have a very privileged life. Let's see if anybody's watching. That's not where people would be watching. How about here? How about the YouTubes? Did I set it up correctly? Are we live? And we are live. And oh, Marcy's here. Okay, so hold on. So Marcy, how you feeling? Tracy, good question. Marcy was feeling a little under the weather yesterday. Let's see. There we go. And okay. Chat is live. So welcome, congratulations, Marcy, on being first this morning. It's early where Marcy is. She's off in Hawaii. So right now in Hawaii, it's 1956. Congratulations on your statehood. I know that's still fresh for you guys. So this is Spilling COVFEFE. I am your host, your Kevinly father, Kevin Williams. This is me just waking up, and we take our time. And usually I wake up in a fairly good mood. Like I said, I have a wonderful, privileged life, and people send me birthday mugs before my birthday even gets here. She made me open it on air last night because I think she wanted to AC it, but she also wanted me to have those few extra days of enjoyment. So I think that's a good idea. We should start giving people their birthday presents as soon as we buy them. Don't make them wait for their birthday. Don't make people wait for Christmas. Just buy them things and give them things so that they can enjoy them. I'm going to get my birthday is the 13th. Today is the 7th. So I'm going to get several days of extra COVFEFE time of enjoying this mug. Actually, I really do like it. It's great. I put some milk in, I put the little creamer thing in, and I filled up, and it filled right to the brim. It was perfect. I have one of those Keurig machines where you use the pods because you hate the planet. So it fills to a specific amount. And I'm not old school enough to have the coffee. I prefer the coffee where you make it the night before and then you set the timer and then you wake up and it's ready. Makes me so happy. Otherwise, with the Keurig, you got to turn it on and wait. You got to kill the planet, and then after 3 species become endangered, your coffee's ready. Takes too long. Too long for me. I wake up in a pretty good mood, and then I wonder what should I be outraged today? Where is that coming from? Because I don't know. I think things are pretty good right now. I know with the Delta variant, it's worse. Things are gonna get so much worse, guys. India was in complete turmoil before it started going down with the Delta. UK, same deal. They did better with it because they're a modernized country. They had a higher rate of vaccines, etc. We have now over half the adults in the country just crested this. Half the adults in the country have had 2 shots. Good. Still leaves about 190 to 100 million people who've had nothing. Well, we don't know the long-term effects. Well, what are the long-term effects of COVID? Oh, that's right, death. And this new strain, it's all anecdotal at this point, but this new strain sure looks like it goes for the younger peoples. And that may be that we've vaccinated so many of the older peoples. This is just a more virulent strain. We don't know. We don't know. We should know. UK should have those figures. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't learn things in this country. Whatever happened in the UK, we can use that to learn. I'm not seeing it.
National anthem brought to you by the Marine Corps Band as we see images across this great country.
This is Fox and Friends in the morning, Fox and Friends Saturday. They let us know, Will Kane, Ashley Strohmeyer, and Pete Head says, they let us know what to be outraged about. It's the weekend. You're off work. Have a great time, everybody. No. The border. By the way, I was watching Sean and Hannity last night, and he was talking about the border. Two things. Sean and Hannity is often saying, you've had the COVID, you don't need the vaccine. Cleveland Clinic did a study and said, don't get the vaccine. Completely the opposite is true. Cleveland Clinic did a study, said, yeah, if you've had COVID, you have some antibodies. Get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. That's what the Cleveland Clinic says. Sean Hannity, night after night, comes out on Fox and spews absolute bullshit. Don't get the Cleveland Clinic says you don't need it. No, they say the complete. I don't know how to get that word out to people. I'm gonna call up the Cleveland Clinic on Monday or email them or something. The people involved in the study and say, hey, can we just do a quick interview? We'll do it over Google Meet. I'll record it. We'll put together a Shut the Fact Up. See if we can get some traction with that. But again, that takes people retweeting, etc. And the people who follow me, they're smart people. Is that egotistical of me to say? Mayhap, but they know how the vaccines work. I don't know. I don't know if I have a single anti-vaxxer amongst my, I don't know how many followers I have.
Country. Welcome to Fox and Friends on the
Hold on a second, because the chat, I don't know that the chat is working, because I can't see. There's been like no, there's all kinds of people talking. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Champ. Hey, Ruth Ann. I don't know why it's not propagating. Hold on. Let me see if I can do anything to. Oh, there. Now, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not in charge of this. Can you turn up your volume, Kevin? I certainly can. Thank you. I'm sorry, I couldn't see the chats, guys. They weren't coming through. So now it appears that they're coming through. Somebody else type something, and we'll see what happens here. Oh, there. Okay. Good. Steph is here this morning. She wasn't feeling well yesterday. Marcy wasn't feeling well. Obviously, something's going around. We should be careful, guys. Here we go. What are we
Saturday morning? Will Kane.
Oh, by the way, this is just spilling COVFEFE. There's no agenda here. There's no timeline. If you guys want to talk about something, if you want to hear my opinion on something, first off, what's wrong with you? Secondly, all right.
Pete Hegseth, and with us this morning is Ashley Strohmeyer. Good morning.
Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Excellent color.
I'm bright and in the middle. I was referencing myself as like one of those cones on the side of the road. So I'm here.
Well,
so good morning to you guys.
It is great to have you. And Will, it's great to have you back.
Thank you. I am somewhat disappointed.
Fact check there. She is not bright.
Not in being back at work. I love.
You know, I don't even remember this one. I don't know. She may be very bright. I don't know. But the fact that she's sitting in the middle on that couch indicates to me that she has comprehension issues. We'll find out together. I'm sure she donates to charity. I'm sure she's a lovely human being. Let's find out.
My vacation. I'm happy to share with you now. I did go all the way to the furthest west state. I think Hawaii is the furthest west state. Maybe Alaska can extend with the Aleutian Islands. But I was.
That's an excellent question. I'm going with Hawaii, but let's find out. Let's find out together. What is the westernmost state that we have? I think it's Hawaii, but it could be Alaska because Alaska wraps all the way around, and the those lines of longitude, world map. Longitude and latitude. Let's take a look here. If you got to spread them out, this is what we're looking for right here. From Pinterest, come on. All right, let's go big and see what we get here. Oh, you know what? What we can do is just do a search for the. This is not. I want a big image of this. No, I'm not going to sign into Pinterest. Not a 43-year-old divorcee. Let's go furthest. Western point of United States. Guam is going to screw this up for us, but hopefully they'll say, let's see, southernmost, westernmost. No, it's Alaska. Cape Wrangell, Alaska. So there you go. And the southernmost point is Kalea in Hawaii, the South Cape in Hawaii. So Attu Island is the also. So Marcy, it's not Hawaii. Sorry, you're right about the southernmost, but Alaska is the westernmost. Northernmost Point Barrow, Alaska. So Alaska gets 2 points there. Easternmost point is West Quoddy Island? West Quoddy Head, Maine. I don't know how to pronounce that. Quoddy. Quoddy? Well, however you pronounce it, it's pronounced incorrectly because it's in Maine. And they talk funny. Welcome everyone watching from Maine if you're watching. Anybody from Maine, let me know how to pronounce that phonetically. George with W-I-T-H. Great names, what great names.
Disappointed I come back tan from Hawaii, and I'm only rivaled by a
tan from, he's been to Hawaii, okay.
New Jersey poolside tan over to my left.
He's the tannest man I think I've seen. Well, he's much tanner than you coming from Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm just a New Jersey pool boy. That's it. I'll take it. Whatever. I'm glad. I hope you recharged the batteries a little bit.
I did. I had a great time with the family. Thank you so much.
And then you return, Will, and it turns out the whole world changed in about a week.
It did. It
did.
It went insane, Ashley. And it went insane by
the world went insane. I was in a good mood. What happened? Now, see, this is why we watched this. The world went insane in a week, and I didn't even realize it. Find out what happened. Wow.
To something we're all too familiar with, and that is the height of insane COVID protocols. We're looking at mask mandates.
Oh, masks. Masks are in. I get it. Okay. All right. I wore a mask, what was a couple of days ago? I wore a mask extensively for several hours. Just fine. I survived.
Days coming back, for example, in the state of New Jersey, where Governor Phil Murphy has said school children will be wearing masks this coming year.
You want your school children marrying masks as often as possible, even if they're under age of 18. As long as they can get permission from their parents to marry a mask, you want them to marry a mask. Hopefully, the mask is a doctor or something else in the medical field, because it is. And you want that mask to be able to provide for your child. Because obviously, if you're upset about masks to begin with, you have a very low IQ, and your chance of your child making a good living, very low. So make sure that they marry a good mask. You want to marry up when it comes to masks.
Meanwhile, by the way,
New Jersey pool boy not happy.
I'm sure he is not happy.
Well, he's the governor, but okay.
Meanwhile, by the way, there are other states who we can designate as free states who are intent on fighting this insanity.
Wait, hold on, because he's got a mask on, but he's not collapsed. I don't understand.
For example, in the state of Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis has, without a doubt, led with.
Yeah, so our native New Jersey expert here, Ruth Ann, says the red minority in New Jersey are losing their minds about this mask mandate.
Courage throughout.
Well, that's because the whole world's gone insane, Ruth Ann, obviously. Except everyone never stopped wearing masks. Yeah, it is interesting. You can completely tell what kind of area you're in. Just walk into a supermarket. Here in Los Angeles, even during when they said you don't have to wear a mask anymore inside if you're vaccinated, everybody was still wearing masks because you can't tell who's vaccinated. It never went away. You go down to Orange County, even at the height of the pandemic, nobody was wearing masks.
This pandemic has said, not only will we oppose mask mandates in school districts where they're going to try to impose them, well, we're going to allow students to take their money and transfer among districts or to private schools.
That's right. They consider it
So the state is going to give money to private schools. That's going to work out just fine constitutionally, Governor DeSantis.
Language inside the regulation is it's harassing of kids and families based on COVID status. That money would follow the kid through school choice. And it is one of those moments where you realize what a big...
I don't know that that's really a great promo shot of him. By the way, here's his guy. He's wearing the mask and doing such a great job at it, too.
Difference executive leadership makes at the state-by-state level. You can have...
What a difference it makes. You got the guy in Jersey, and he's a guy, and then you got the guy in Florida, and he's another guy, and one of those guys says, we're not going to have masks, and that's the guy with a record number of COVID cases this last week, and also a record number of people in the hospital with COVID this week. So it's just what a difference executive leadership makes. He's right.
Federal control and federal mandates, but when governors take charge, it creates a total...
You can't have federal mandates. Go on.
Totally different environment and feeling in different states.
Right, and DeSantis says, you know, parents should be able to have the right to choose, you know, the health concerns they have for their kids. And
Right, but other parents, you see, they should also have the right to send their kids to school in a safe environment. And COVID is, how do you call this? Contagious and also really bad. So you don't want your kid going to school. It's been almost 2 years, and these people don't understand how masks work. It's not complicated. Come on. We found out, by the way, she's not bright. Let's see what else she has to say about that.
whether or not they wear a mask, and that's the American way of doing.
You know what I'm going to do for Spilling COVFEFE from now on? I'm going to do this over Google Meet so that a few of you folks can come into the room and we can have a morning discussion. We'll be like the Facts and Friends couch. I don't know what just happened. But it jumped ahead like 2 hours. I don't know why this happens. It's probably something I did, but let's go back.
Here's a reminder. Here's what Cori Bush said on CBSN.
Okay, stop.
He says that his
Even back more.
State of Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis.
Okay, leadership.
About masking up in schools. Take a listen to what the president's spokesperson said about it.
They're going to say something. They're going to show something here that they think makes Jen Psaki look bad, and she's going to look fantastic. But it's a comprehension issue. Let's find out what it is.
he says that his concern is about harmful emotional, academic, and psychological effects of putting kindergartners in masks for hours at a time. Is there any concern from
Possible? So I was watching, I'm not even going to say names. I was watching a show on a particular network that tends to be anti-mask, and they had like a 10 or 11-year-old kids, and I keep kids out of it. I'm not going to say what kid, there's no information about that kid. I'm just going to say he's somewhere between 9 and 11 is what I'm guessing. I don't even know. I can't even tell you. So the parents were on there saying how bad masks were, and then they asked the kid, hey, how do you mask? Oh, it's terrible. It's really hard for me to learn with a mask on. I'm like, okay, kid. And then the kid says, and then I came back to school when the schools reopened. I couldn't even recognize my friends. I didn't know who was who. Yeah, I have yet to run into a single human being that I know and be surprised that I'm like, I'm sorry, you got, oh, it's you, my daughter. You had the mask on, so I couldn't tell. Hold on, guys. Oh, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? He's got, oh, there I am. Now it skipped again. I don't know why. Let's go back. Oh, there's a car crash. I like that. I want to see about the car crash. Hold on. Let's go back to the car crash. A mask mandate debate. We might see this.
Wants to, but a lot of kids and parents don't want their kids to wear a mask that long. It's not healthy.
Media critic Steve Krakauer.
It's very, very, very healthy compared to the alternative. Super duper healthy. Not even to mention that flu kills kids. Every year, flu kills at somewhere between 1,000 and 32,000 kids. And the mask stopped the flu.
Made a great point. He said, my rising kindergarten.
Plus not touching each other, plus not snotting on each other. I mean, kids are basically disease vectors.
Gardner says he can eat Skittles.
Plus having schools closed.
All day long. And that he has imaginary friends. Sometimes they're not imaginary. Sometimes they're his stuffed animals. Rising kindergartners have a lot of opinions. We don't let them guide our public policy.
That's a really good point. But the reality is, as a New Jersey parent...
That's what we were watching Jen Psaki. Let's go back and find Jen Psaki. That's where we were. Here we go. That's okay. Let's listen to what Peter Ducey asked the question.
Wearing masks. They love wearing them so much they wear them all day long. And that's Jen Psaki. And she was asked yesterday at the White House by our own Peter Ducey about masking up in schools.
By her own Peter Ducey? No, it's their own Peter Ducey. I don't know. I'm hearing things.
make that choice. Well, there's one person in America who thinks her kids just love wearing masks. They love wearing them so much they wear them all day long. And that's Jen Psaki. And she was asked yesterday at the White House by our own Peter Doocy.
No, he says our.
About masking up in schools. Take a listen to what the president's spokesperson said about it.
He says that his concern is about harmful emotional, academic, and psychological effects of putting kindergartners in masks for hours at a time. Is there any concern from officials that you guys talked to?
I know, he said our own. I listened to it again, and he did say our own Peter Doocy. So stop interrupting at random. Oh, goodness.
In your early pre-decisional discussions about that?
No, there's not. And I will tell you from personal experience, my rising kindergartner told me 2 days ago she could wear a mask all day, and she's just happy to go to camp and go to school. We know there's a mental health impact of them not being in school, and we should take the mitigation measures needed in order for them to be in school and in the classroom, including masking and including allowing that to be part of a reality in these schools to keep the community safe.
Yeah, sounds good. The kindergartner has no problem wearing a mask for as long as the kindergartner needs to wear a mask. All right. We should take mitigation efforts to keep the kids safe. Doesn't sound outrageous to me, but again, the whole world's gone insane this week. So where's that coming from? Well, the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, and the American Pediatric Association, them too. So both of those organizations that we look to for judgment when it comes to medical issues for children, both of those organizations say, yeah, mask up, everybody. This is a terrible thing. We don't want your kids to get COVID. So very sad. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess now, in Arkansas, a third child died. That's 3 children in the last month. Most likely, 95% likely, all Delta. We don't know because we don't sequence all the testing. So 3 kids the last month. Those are the first 3 kids, from what I can find, that have died from COVID in Arkansas. Again, anecdotal, but no deaths for kids, because remember, COVID doesn't affect kids, except for those 300 kids who died. But you know what? They had pre-existing conditions. So if you have childhood asthma, really, you deserve to die. That's a good thing. So if there's any parents right now who've lost a kid because of COVID, sorry, but they deserve to die. They had some sort of, one of them had diabetes. I mean, that's just basically a mark for death. That's what God wants. He wants your child dead. So the 300 and some kids who've died of COVID, doesn't matter. Let's not have somebody wear a mask. Just the thinking there. Every time I get into this argument with somebody online, I ask them, how many American kids is too many? When do we take action? How many children does it take? What's the number? Is it 500? Is it 100? Is it 10,000? How many kids have to die before we say, you know what, let's do something about this? Kids.
She could wear a mask all day. Loves it. Wants to wear one. Will wear one voluntarily.
And that's okay if she wants to, but a lot of kids and parents don't want their kids to wear a mask.
Right, but there's a contagious, deadly disease going around that's killing children.
That long. It's not healthy.
It's perfectly healthy. Nothing unhealthy about it. Unless you take someone else's mask and lick it, you're fine. And I believe the CDC is against the licking of other people's masks.
Media critic Steve Krakauer made a great point. He said, my rising kindergartner says he can eat Skittles all day long. And that he has imaginary friends. Sometimes they're not imaginary. Sometimes they're his stuffed animals. Rising kindergartners have a lot of opinions. We don't let them guide our public policy.
Okay. But the public policy is not made by the rising kindergarten.
Really good point. But the reality is, as a New Jersey parent, it creates a heck of a predicament. It's almost like, how quick can I move to Florida, where I can make my own?
Quickly. Maybe that's the problem with the education system in New Jersey. Ruth Ann, did they teach you adverbs as a child?
Choice, as opposed to be told yet again. And we're in for a real decision about what to actually do. And I think a lot of people across the country feel this.
Just have your kid wear a mask. It's fine. It's going to be okay. You want your kid in school? Have them wear a mask. It's not that big of a hassle. Really not.
Same way. You see these press conferences, you go, what am I to do? I don't believe my kid should be going to school in a mask. Will I have that decision? Probably not.
And then we do want to get to this. And before we do run this video, we do want to warn you that it is disturbing, but it ties along with the increase in crime that we're seeing across the nation, and especially here in New York City, which is where this happened. Take a look at this. But as I said, be aware it is disturbing.
This is a woman in New York City who is just
Oh, this woman gets shot in the back of the head. I don't think we need to watch that. If you want to watch it, the video's out there. It's you can watch it for yourself. I'm not going to watch a woman die on TV on a Saturday morning. I'm not going to subject you guys to that. I think there's plenty of death out there already. And unless that woman happens to be a child with asthma, she doesn't deserve to die. I had asthma as a child, by the way. I still have asthma occasionally. I carry a inhaler with me in my hockey bag. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of wheezing. My daughter has asthma. And like I've always said, she deserves to die. I'm lucky I got through. Ruth Ann says, by the way, I started my master's program this fall at Montclair State University. Awesome! For English. They do speak English in New Jersey. That's fantastic. Chris Wilson is doing the same. Wow, what a big day. And you guys should be study partners. It's awesome.
Shot by someone else they presumably know, and so much of this, and it doesn't excuse it, but a lot of this is gang violence. I mean, this is gangs ruling the streets and territory and relationships, and it's a vicious cycle that's gone on for decades. It's not new to now. But when the police are
But we will be blaming Biden.
Demoralized, or you're attempting to defund them, you create an environment where they're empowered to be even more brazen. That's on a sidewalk. She's not wearing.
Oh, gangs haven't ever killed people before out in the open. No gang has ever been recorded killing someone or shooting someone. This is all new, thanks to the defunding of the police that isn't happening. Got it.
Wearing a mask. She's not disguising her identity. She's walking straight up to someone, shooting her in the head, and then calmly walking back into a car as if there will be. There you go. I mean, look at that.
No,
that's not how I'm acting if I've shot someone. Ultimately, this is not someone who had a grievance in the moment. This is someone.
All right. Well,
might live. I don't know if that.
The whole world's gone insane because a gang member shot somebody.
Victim right there was involved in gang violence or not, or if it was an innocent.
What if one of them had diabetes?
Casualty of gang violence. But here's why it's important, because when you hear a congresswoman like Cori Bush talk about.
Yeah, Kimchi, Pete Hegseth's over there in the gray suit. He was talking. He's saying he's a New Jersey pool boy, that he gets his tan at the pool. I don't know about that. I think he might be doing a little bit of makeup, a little bit of spray tan there.
Her own importance, about her necessity for private security, at the same time advocating for defunding the police, which I'm sure you've seen the video. She said on Wednesday, understand who she's talking about will be the victims of this policy. Understand the implications of what she's advocating for. Here's a reminder. Here's what Cori Bush said on CBSN on Wednesday.
I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets because we're trying to save lives.
We don't need to defund the police. It's a stupid idea. It has always been a stupid idea. We need to reform the police. By the way, San Francisco, Denver, several other cities, the police unions have come out and say, hey, if you make us get the shot, a whole bunch of people are going to quit. Problem solved. You want to get rid of the bad cops? There you go. Vaccine mandates for all of them. Oh, hold on. We need some good police and we need some bad police, but we don't want the bad police anymore. You know, the stupid ones who do the bad things, the bad apples. How do we get rid of the bad? Oh, you guys have a solution for us. Well, let's do it. I have no problem with that. No problem at all. But yeah, defunding the police is stupid. Joe Biden has always been against defunding the police. Cori Bush.
Lives.
So just to quickly
Big fan of the defunding of the police, apparently.
tie this together and to translate that, I'm important, you are not.
Translate that?
I'm fighting for something that requires my own personal protection. You are not. So I get private security, and I will defund.
The police do not provide private security for anybody. They're responders. They're not private security. So it's two different things. Do they get private security from the police? Is that what white people have in America? I don't know that. Speaking of security, so this morning was interesting. Woke up and a little bit stuffy in the guest room where I am. It's a lovely place. I'm at the Pembroke Studios. Pembroke is the cat who runs the house. This is the reason I'm in the house, to keep an eye on Pembroke and make sure Pembroke's happy. And so it's a little bit stuffy. Now, this room has a door that leads out to the courtyard in the back. So I go to open up the door to let some cool air in because it's the morning here in Beverly Hills. It's just a beautiful place. Again, I didn't realize the world had gone crazy. I'm house sitting a cat in Beverly Hills. I thought I had a pretty good life. I open up the door, forgetting that I set the alarm to stay mode last night. And this alarm is kind of loud, and I think it's designed that way. It's like a smoke alarm, but constant. So it's beep, but very, very high pitched to the point where it hurts your ears right above your ears. I don't know what that is, but I guess the eardrums go in and up a little bit because it. So I realized as soon as I opened that door, beep, oh crap. And I I'm running. And Pembroke the cat runs from downstairs right through my legs and takes off as far away from the alarm as the alarm his legs will take him. I turn off the alarm. Pembroke's gone. Haven't seen him since. Somewhere Pembroke doesn't respond to me anyway. Anyway, so that was my morning. Speaking of safety and security. What I'm saying is if anyone tries to break into this house while I'm asleep, I will wake up.
Your police. And who exactly is the you she will defund police for? It is the victims of gang violence, inner city crime, where we're seeing this spike. It is Cori Bush's constituents that she is talking about, putting in the line of danger, putting in the line of the firing squad while she makes sure she is protected.
And the issue that I have with, obviously there's a multitude of issues.
Ruth Ann talking about Cori Bush says, sorry, this is not a racist comment, but I disagree with this woman. When you have to start something with this is not a racist comment, and it's not. And it's funny that you said that because I wasn't even thinking like, oh, it's racist to disagree with somebody about defunding the police. It's not a race issue. The vast majority of African Americans apparently are against defunding the police. That's what the polls say. Okay. I think people in general want to have the police available because bad things happen. Like, what if one morning I wake up and open up the door to my room? Can you imagine if there were no police around to help me turn off the alarm system? No, I've used police before. I had to call 911. It wasn't an emergency, but there's no other number. I'm looking on the internet. What is the non-emergency number? Finally, I'm like, this is not an emergency. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. You can call this number. Yeah, what's up?
With what Cori Bush said, basically in the same breath saying,
That's not necessarily the case in your neighborhood. Where I was living, there was one number for technically three numbers for the police, 911. But this is not. So if you don't have an emergency, check with your local authorities. Give 911 a call, see what number you should be. Don't give 911 a call. Try and reserve that. I guess in that neighborhood where I was, the 911 was everybody. There's your informational PSA for the day.
I have the right to be protected, but you don't, as you said, Will. But, when it comes down to
Good morning, Christopher Ryan. Goodbye, Christopher Ryan. Have a good day.
Defunding the police, my fiance is a New York City police officer. So
she won't say something biased here at all.
It hits home more to me, and you see the trickle down to where,
Why? Are they cutting his pay? No, they're not. Okay.
year when they started to defund the police and they said they're going to take the money, they're going to put it here. Well, what's going to happen is these officers, they're going to be overworked, the ones that stay on the job. It's not safe for the officers, for the public. It makes no sense. I don't see how anyone could be on board with defunding the police. And in her whole comment, it just didn't make any sense as far as saying, I'm going to spend tens of thousands of dollars in private security, but you guys can just fend for yourselves.
Of course it doesn't make sense.
Well, even the analysis of it doesn't make sense, but I agree with her. Defunding the police is a terrible idea, as does Joe Biden, as does Nancy Pelosi, as does the vast majority of the Democratic Party. But what gets the airplay? When you say something shocking. No news is not news. Saying something new is news. Such a lazy name. Not as lazy, by the way, as shorts. I think that might be the laziest name for an article, definitely an article of clothing. Like socks, it's a sock. It's pants, this is a name, this is a long thing. What are those? Those are short pants. We'll just call them shorts. I feel like calling a t-shirt just a shorter. Where's my tiny? I need my tiny this morning. That's just a t-shirt. It's shaped like a T. I get that. That's lazy, but it's not. But shorts, lazy. Underwear, it's wear that is underneath the other stuff. It makes sense. It's sort of its own individual name. We get it under garments. Same thing, just a description of where those garments go. Not really a name, just a description, but still better than shorts. Shorts may be one of the laziest things we have in not just clothing or garments, but universally, shorts may be the laziest noun. I don't know. I haven't thought about it a whole bunch. I will, though. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Unless you think...
I almost want to go to Harvard, to grad school at Harvard, just so I can publish these things as studies by Harvard. So we know for sure the best fruit. We know for sure the best flavor of commercially available yogurt. We have to know these things. If we just had lists like this. Oh, yeah, fruit. Speaking of fruit, orange as well. Can I have an orange? It's just the color. Yeah, you want a banana? If I could just get a yellow this morning. Is that a lemon? Oh, see, lemon should be just called yellows. It's a citrus, just like orange. Greens should be limes. Wait, lime is a color too. So is lime or orange lazier? Orange. Orange is the laziest fruit, I think. Trouble is there's too many red fruits. Oh, blueberries, lazy, but not as lazy as orange. Otherwise, we call it, can I get an orange citrus? It's a description, but just calling it an orange, making it into a noun. No.
You're more important and your work is more important than average people.
Yeah.
And I just found out that you have private security. Your fiance. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I have private security.
That's fantastic. You do, and you should. No, that's an amazing
That's actually pretty funny. It's a good observation by Pete. Good job, Pete.
perspective. And when you're going out
It's not pretty funny. It's funny.
there and the people, you know.
I think lime, the fruit, came before the color. I think you're right, Tracy. I think Tracy B has it there. I think that the color green is used, we describe that as lime. Does anybody speak a foreign language? Do we call it lime, the color, in other languages as well? It's just a description of the color. But I think the fruit itself, that's the name of the fruit, it's a lime.
Don't feel like folks have your back. It's a much more difficult job to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, tonight, by the way, on the channel, on Dan Bongino's program, he's got an extensive interview with President Donald Trump. We got a portion of it this morning.
Audio is really weird for me. If you guys are having a problem with their audio, let me know. It's just probably my Bluetooth connection.
And he was asked about those comments from Cori Bush and defunding the police. Here's President Trump.
What? When? Oh, he was on Unfiltered with Dan Bongino. Wait, when was this? So we have a Trump interview to cover. I didn't even realize this. This is why we do our research. This is our research this morning.
Want to defund the police, and tell me that makes sense. Look at what's going on in New York. Look at the crime in New York. Look at the incidents that happened where they're beating up elderly people in the streets, beating them up. and the cops aren't doing anything. And our prosecutors, they're just after Republicans.
So the cops in New York aren't doing anything? Thanks for back in the blue, Donald.
Guys like me, the prosecutors, they should be. I think the biggest problem is.
Oh, they're just after Republicans, guys like him. So the gangs are beating up old people in New York, hoping that it's you. Is that how this works? It's just, are they basically, the gangs are big tech? Is that what's going on? Facebook is sponsoring the gangs of New York?
Our prosecutors in New York and other places.
Okay, so former President Trump says the cops aren't doing anything. And to what you just said before we ran that soundbite, I feel like they're put between a rock and a hard spot. Like, what are they going to do? They want to keep their jobs. They want to go home at the end of the day.
If you're ever placed between a rock and a hard place, she said spot, but okay, that's not the expression. If you're ever between a rock and a hard place, you're pretty much protected. Like, I don't know, you're fine. You just walk out if you need to do something else.
So I just feel like it's difficult, and there needs to be, something has to level out to make this make sense.
There's very little incentive, and you know better than me, but there's very little incentive to be proactive in that environment, because you create more situations where it's a tough call and a tough moment, and now the finger's pointing back at the guy in blue?
Yeah.
I mean, it's impossible.
Wait, what? But okay.
By the way, Dan Bongino, whose program President Trump was speaking on tonight, will be up on our show here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
That's right. Well,
So Dan Bongino has a show tonight? What's going on? Does Dan Bongino have a show on Fox News now that I don't know about? He's on Hannity all the time. Specifically, they like to put him on there with Geraldo. And who knew? Who had Geraldo make sense on the bingo card?
we've got additional news this morning. We turn now to the
Key lime pie is delicious, by the way. My dad's favorite pie.
border. Fox News obtaining exclusive new images of a migrant facility in Donna, Texas.
It's overcrowded, packed full of migrants. As
Look at all those migrants. Look at them just milling around in the parking. Wait, there's nobody there. They're probably in the tents.
border numbers continue to surge.
Lauren Blanchard joins us live from Washington with an exclusive look inside. Good morning, Lauren.
By the way, everything you hear on Fox News about the border is wrong. It's insanity. It's Bongo on Newsmax. I wonder how we get that. We'll look for it later. I don't care. I usually cover the Trump interviews, but honestly, he's so irrelevant now. I know he's relevant. Oh, he's the leader of the Republican Party. Great. Keep him in charge. Keep that cancer right inside the Republican Party. Do it.
And good morning. Will Ashley.
Does anybody else have a favorite type of pie? Key lime is right up there for me. That's, again, my dad knows his favorite type of pie. I don't. By the way, folks, thanks to Marcy for this bigly cup of COVFEFE mug that she sent in for my early birthday present. Thank you. I appreciate that. Marcy, did we ever establish how you're feeling today? Pecan, banana cream, both good choices, both solid choices. Pecan pie or pecan pie, either one works. Either one is totally acceptable. Judges agree. That sometimes is my favorite pie, depending on how it's made. And I've seen it like, Southern style pecan pie. I don't know. There's no consistency to the consistency of pecan pie. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And other times I'm, this is all right. I don't know if it's the amount of sugar or the, it's like, I like crusts of things, except bread. Like, don't give me the heel of the bread, you idiot. The hell. But these are things that we should get sorted out. Pumpkin pie also. Pumpkin pie, by the way, can be, pumpkin pie can also be my favorite pie. Pumpkin pie with my family, favorite pie. Pumpkin pie like store-bought, usually not fantastic. I did, like 1,000 years ago, I found a store-brand pumpkin pie that I thought was just perfect. But nothing, of course, is going to be any better than your pumpkin pie cooked by your mom. It's just the way it is. Fruitcake. I do like fruitcake. I think my mom made fruitcake at some point, but I love fruitcake because you can take the cherries out, you can take the green things out. I don't have a name for them. I'm not sure what they are. Lime, maybe? Whatever the candied green fruit is in fruitcake, I'm not even sure. I'll take them. That's the gold when you're a kid. You're digging, you're mining in there. The green pieces were the best. I think my brother, one of the kids in my family, there's like 40 kids in the family, would take all the fruit pieces out and just leave them on the plate, and then you could have them. They didn't like the fruit, which at that point you're just eating cake. Why would someone just eat cake? Most cakes, waste of time. Homemade fruitcake can be excellent. You're absolutely right. Tracy doesn't like pecan pie, and she does not like fruitcake. That's fine. That's more for us. You're basically you're like my sister. Take all the good stuff out of life, and I will have it. Congratulations, everybody! You reached 100 chats today on the Restream chat. So good job, everybody.
Pete, a sad situation.
Wow, she's just gorgeous. I don't typically comment on people's looks, but she's like, look at that hair. Not only gorgeous, but look at what she's done. That I don't do it myself because my hair is a little bit shorter than hers, but that takes some effort, right, guys? That's some effort either from her makeup people or from herself leaving home. However, it's working now. I don't know what they're doing at the Fox News, but well done. Well done, you. This is the news person. They have the people sitting on the couch, and they say some ridiculous things, and then they go to the person actually doing the news, and they get about 30 seconds to cover all of the news of the day. And they're always blonde. I don't know why. I don't know what that rule is.
Let's get right to those new exclusive images out of Donna, Texas. Take a look at this. It's cramped.
Oh, their voices are always a little bit lower, so they got some gravitas to them. So they call it. Okay, so that's Donna, Texas, right?
Holding cells packed with migrants. It looks similar to what caused so much bipartisan uproar earlier this year. A Border Patrol source tells Fox
so you can see it's all blurred, but you can see there's some families in there, etc. So the families, if they have a valid asylum claim, they get to stay because we're America and that's legal. Asylum is completely legal. Those are not illegals. Everybody else, all the adults, of course, if you're a kid, you get to stay because, America. Everybody else, boom, gone. We'll process you. Do you have any kids with you? You're not part of a family. You're not a valid family. Whatever. We've rejected your claim before. You're gone. Joy Reid, best hair game in TV. I don't know. I'd have to take a. I haven't noticed. I don't typically watch Joy. She's up. She's on in the afternoon or the evening, I guess, if you're East Coast. Anyway, we'll talk about Joy Reid's hair if she comes along. Anyway, I tend not to. If they're having a bad hair day, I won't comment on it usually. At random says she's pushing the envelope on shade of blonde, almost gasp light brown. We're not going to go there. We're just going to say that she looks great today. She's having a fantastic hair day today. I mean, is she Caitlin Collins? No. Because Caitlin Collins covering a hurricane in the dark always has perfect hair.
Or 40 to 60 people per pod. The COVID-19 limit is supposed to be 10. The source says just a couple of days ago, there were 5,300 migrants in custody. This footage.
They've cleared it out now. They built some extra tents in McAllen, in Texas. The city of McAllen said, oh my God, this is too much for us to handle. So the county said, no problem, move them over here. We're going to declare a state of emergency. The federal government's going to open up the funding because we've declared the state of emergency. That's just paperwork. That's just how it needs to happen. Once you've got the state of emergency, the federal government says, here you go, here's a bunch of money. Please take care of this because it's the federal government's responsibility. But of course, that's not federal land. That's county land. The federal government you're not going to take them to like a national forest in Texas. You're going to put them somewhere close by to the processing. And if they've got COVID, once they're tested, out of CBP custody, they go to an NGO or a health organization in McAllen. They're tested for COVID. Oh, you guys have COVID? We can't release you until you're all better. So we're going to keep you here. That's how it works. Nobody is taking COVID patients and seeding them throughout the United States.
From our Fox.
At random says, I said that all Fox, no, all Fox News people in Fox and Friends, all the ones that I've ever seen, they all have blonde hair. So you were commenting on that she was almost not blonde. Okay, she looks fantastic today. Good for her.
Flight.
Oh, and you can see there's a word for this. There's the medical symbol on top of that, and I know it's Archimedes crest or whatever it is. Somebody will know what it is. I see. This is as you get old. I used to know lots of things. I'm almost 52, people. Here's to being 52. It's the best birthday present I've ever had all year.
Team showing the tents now up to handle and hold COVID-19 infected migrants in.
There, see? She's an actual news person. Yes, the tents are for holding COVID-19 patients, asymptomatic or not. And if they're really sick, they go to a hospital or a hospital facility run by the federal government, paid for by the federal government, etc. Because you don't want COVID-19 patients being seeded throughout the country. Hannity blamed the record number of COVID patients in Florida on people from the border coming across in Texas and then being flown to or bused to Florida and seeded throughout the population.
McAllen, Texas. According to Customs and Border Protection, they have encountered almost one.
Right, and that's part of the process. You will have some people catching COVID in those tents in Donna. You want that. That's why the 10-person maximum. And again, with Delta doesn't care. You can be in the same room. You can be 20 feet away. You can walk by somebody outside. Delta is far more contagious. We knew this from Australia. We knew this from the UK. And yet, it appears that Delta might be more contagious. Yeah, we know. We've known this. Why do we not trust the doctors in Australia? We knew this was coming. Anyway, the whole point is you want to process them through the CBP facilities, chicken, beef, pork, as quickly as possible, and then move them on to other authorities who can test them for COVID, etc.
0.3 million at the border between October and June. The July numbers have not yet been released.
Right, and here's the thing about this number. Look what it says. Total border encounters. That's not people. 30 to 35% of that number are just repeat encounters of the same people. So, oh my God, more than 1 million people. No, I haven't done the math yet, but it's fewer than 1 million people. Okay, that number is quite a bit lower. And out of that number, let's just say it's 900,000. Out of that number, 700,000 were immediately rejected and sent back because of Title 42. Then they tried to come back in again. They were caught again, and they were rejected again. That's what's going on. The border's closed. You can't come in unless there's a child involved.
And check this out.
Okay.
A 183-foot-long tunnel was found in a home near the border of California and Mexico. Homeland Security.
Hold on a second here. Trump built the wall, and that stopped everything, I thought. Because someone said when Trump was building the wall's not going to stop the tunnels. And we're like, yeah, that's a good point. And Trump was like, no one can climb the wall.
Security special agents and.
It's got an air conditioner in there. That's got to be, no, that looks like a ladder coming out of the ground there. Hold on, we'll get rid of me. Give me a second here. How do I get rid of that? Yeah, okay. You can see a ladder coming out of the ground. This is a ladder right here. So this looks to be like a building on one side where they haven't even, see, this is just mud in the ceiling, but that's what, that's spackle, etc., drywall mud, not actual mud. Just holding everything together, and then an air conditioner and a ladder. So that ladder probably goes down. And okay, here's the ladder going down. We're looking at a camera shooting down into the tunnel. That's a ladder going down, and then this tunnel appears to go across the border, perhaps. So that's what's going on there.
Mexican authorities found it. They said it was being dug and used by drug traffickers. It's outfitted with lights, vents, rail tracks, and a hoist system. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that tunnel.
Yeah, so they had a railway going through that tunnel. People wouldn't even come through. It's just drugs. This is how the drugs get in. Drugs come in through tunnels like that, or drugs come in across the border in trucks, etc., over the regular border lanes. Very few drugs come across carried by mules in the middle of Texas because people die on that route, and they're also picked up. But you can build a truck with a false bottom or whatever, an RV, and you can get the drugs across the border. That's where the drugs come from. And we know this for sure because that's what was testified to in the El Chapo trial.
Came just 3 feet shy of the international border. Will, Ashley, Pete?
Lauren.
What? I'm not going to go back and listen to it. Okay, so now we're back to the fake news.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lauren.
That number you saw is massive, obviously, and the numbers keep going up, and they have in the month of July. But that tunnel is there's a number since October. But that tunnel is a reminder we're not accounting at all for the gotaways.
Oh, by the way, that's also noted since October, that number. They keep saying more than 1 million people. First off, not people, encounters. Secondly, Biden didn't take over till January. That's the number since October. They got to keep going back. Oh, let's make the number bigger. Let's go back. That's from October. That's since October 2004.
For the stuff, the encounters, the people that aren't turning themselves in. And from drugs to human trafficking to the cartels and the control they have, we don't even have remotely a sense of how bad this is. We see how bad it is, what we are allowed to see. But ultimately, this is spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
And Chad Wolf, the former acting DHS Secretary, Heritage Foundation visiting fellow, Tom Homan, retired acting ICE director, and Fox News contributor Thomas Feely, the former director of NY ICE removals. They will all be joining us coming up.
Yeah, we got some great guests on that to illuminate our view.
All right.
All right, we got a few additional headlines this morning as well. An officer is shot and a suspect killed in a shooting right outside an LA County Police Department. La Habra PD says gunfire erupted after a confrontation outside the front door. The injured officer is in critical but stable condition. Police
Sorry, guys. I don't know how I turned my microphone off. La Habra's just down the road here. That's very, very bad. Nobody wants a police officer shot. The reason the police officer was shot is because of defunding the police, even though defunding the police hasn't happened in La Habra, as far as I know. It's not the guns. It's the defunding of the police. The guy had a gun, which is Second Amendment right, but he got really mad because the police have been defunded, so he shot a cop because the police have been defunded. That's what's really going on. It's not the guns, people. The guns are not the problem.
say a gun was found at the scene, and there are no other outstanding suspects. And California's Dixie Fire becomes the third largest in state history. It's grown now to more than 434,000 acres. Massive smoke plumes from the fire showing up.
Wow, so big that it's got the Tokyo Olympic Stadium, too. That's sad.
Satellite images from space, firefighters have reportedly had guns pulled on them by residents not wanting to evacuate their homes.
Again, not a gun problem. That's not, if residents are pulling guns on firefighters, reportedly, no, but there's no issue with guns. That's okay. The problem is we're defunding the firefighters and not raking them.
Their reluctance to leave comes after the fire leveled much of Greenville, a historic mining town in Northern California.
But guns, not the problem, okay?
And to the Olympics. Fancy music.
Does anybody not want us to watch something about the Olympics here? There's probably going to be spoilers here. They can't show footage. Well, let's just skip it, just in case somebody doesn't want anything spoiled. Go by that. Okay, we'll go by that. There's the medal count. You guys can worry about that. We might be done. Let's see. Let's go Newsmax. Let's go and see if there's a Trump interview on Newsmax we can watch later. Here we go. Newsmax. And yep, there's a picture of Trump right there. So President Joe Biden's infrastructure bill is a disgrace. If you didn't join us last night, we did watch Laura Ingraham, and she gave the farm away. She said the stupid part out loud. It doesn't matter what the American people want. It doesn't matter what's good for America. It's about not giving Joe Biden a win. Stand your ground while it burns, says Kimchi. Correct. That's what it's about. But again, guns are not the problem. Full story. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the interview? Trump. Oh, he wrote. This is just a statement. But didn't we see was Banjo John, Banjo home? Oh, there's a link to Donald Trump right there. So we'll go back here. But we're kind of wrapping things up here, I think, guys. I'm just looking to see if there's an interview about Donald Trump to watch. Trump, GOP should use never negotiate. So this is from today. This is early. Trump blasts Wisconsin over delayed cleanup voter roll. January 6th panel. So this is from today. And let's see if this is a statement. No, another statement. Wisconsin has just canceled 205 voter registrations because they say they could not find the voters. Why did they wait until after the election? Would this mean that we would have won Wisconsin? Congratulations. No, it does not mean you. These are standard voter purging after elections. What happens is if you haven't voted for a number of elections, you're purged. So they just purged 205,000 voters they couldn't find. That's exactly how they work. None of those people voted in the election. None of them. He's just an idiot. Just an absolute idiot. His dad was pretty smart and evil, and he's inherited all of that, and that's how he gets to where he is, which is a failed presidency. So is Bongino now on Fox? What's going on? Because there's nothing on Newsmax about. Let me just do. No thanks. I don't want breaking news from Newsmax. Thank you very much. Dan Bongina. For May 25th. Okay, so order by newest. Trump, yeah, no. So I don't know. Is he off? Let's Trump interview. Watch inner on that's May 25th. There's a way to sort this, I think, by date. Anytime. Here we go. Past week. Hey, here we go. Donald Trump from 1 hour ago on tonight. Is this so tonight at 10 p.m. on Fox? Okay, so he is on Fox News now. He has a show on Fox News called Unfiltered at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. I don't know that I'll be watching that. I haven't thought about even what I'm doing today, but we'll record it and we'll check it out at another time. He's on Fox Nation. It says Fox News. So he might be on Fox Nation normally, but maybe Saturday nights they give him a show called Unfiltered on Fox News. Let's go and find that. I could have just done this to begin with, but I'm not bright. Where's my little search thing? Hold on. Oh, down here. Unfiltered. This is how the YouTube's TV works. Filtered. Nickelodeon's Unfiltered. Okay, upcoming tonight. Dan Bongino will set it to record. It is now set to record, so it'll record all of the Dan Bongino things. Yay! So if you have to cut the cable, so far YouTube TV's been the best one I found. So we'll watch Unfiltered with Dan Bongino another time. Maybe we'll watch it tonight. I don't know. It depends on what's going on with my day today. All I know is that I have to work out and I have to get going. And we've done COVFEFE for a little over an hour today. So thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe Saturday. I'm sorry to let you know this morning that the world went crazy this last week. And I hope that you're able to deal with that in your own way. So everybody be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And most importantly, be good to me. We'll see you guys